you should have a house in the Hamptons. I'm going to the Van Hout's residence this weekend.
Like when you say it that, it really does.
When you say it like that.
This weekend I was hanging out with Vicky Van Hout.
I just think that
sipping on Cabernet Sauvignon.
No, I think if you're going to do that, she's probably a Victoria.
Victoria Van Hout.
Yeah.
Victoria
right?
Van Hout.
God, doesn't that sound... Jesus.
The Lady Victoria Van Hout, yeah.
She's got a title and everything.
My mom actually, when she was signing me up for like orientation in college and stuff, she put my title as Esquire. So
that's what I always picked too.
According to my like college documents, Esquire is on there.
Wow,
so,
she's real fancy.
She was just like, I don't know what it meant. I just thought it was funny. So it wasn't fancy. It was just.
Hello, welcome to the Bite Me Podcast, episode 45.
Dang.
And if you heard that other voice, that is not Dylan.
Definitely
not Dylan. Well, that would be really funny if it was. Dylan is not here.
Vacationing.
We're saying vacationing.
Disneylanding.
Until we can tell you why he's really gone. Ooh. But whatever. So anyway, in for Dylan, we have Vicky Van Hout.
Hi. Stop.
No, that's perfect.
They've been laughing at my last name. They think it sounds fancier than it is.
Super fancy.
All right.
Do your impression, Dylan. Or Adam, whoever you are.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can't do it now.
I miss him already.
You've ruined the mood. You just made me Dylan. You made me super tall and extra skinny. I'll take it.
Right?
So Dylan's on vacation, and Vicky here is a recent hire where we work in our full-time job, and we were talking one day, and I offered her one of the Bite Me podcast stickers. She's like, oh, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, do you play video games? Yeah, I do. I play. What are you playing, Half-Life 2?
Yeah, no, Half-Life. I'm playing through the first Half-Life.
Wow.
Yeah, I've never actually played through them. I've just heard about them. In
case you're wondering, that makes you a better person than Adam and Dylan. We discussed this like 2 shows ago, and neither of them have ever played Half-Life. I'm like,
any of them?
How? Never.
I've heard they're awesome. They are awesome.
They are awesome.
Like I've been playing the Source, which is like the somewhat remastered version. It's really cool. It's still really old looking, but it's cool. I like the game a lot. It's really neat.
I don't know.
It's okay.
It's nice, and it's a great mix of creepy and shooty.
It's first person, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why. Because I never played a first person game like religiously or was into it until Destiny came along.
Oh wow.
I liked BioShock. Oh, my phone just said hello. I liked BioShock, and I like some of those games from that era, but I never really played it because I could never get a hold of get a hang of it.
It's not.
Yeah.
I mean, frankly, on a console, and he's only had a computer for about a year.
Well, I've had a computer for about 20 years.
A gaming computer. It's hard. Like, it's hard to get used to that dual stick kind of thing. So, I get it.
Yeah.
But I've been playing PUBG. And I've been playing some of the first person stuff.
I have not been playing that, and I really want to.
It's so much fun.
The nice thing is that now I have enough money for it.
Gaming's not a cheap hobby.
No. Oh, it hurts. Actually, I was really proud of myself because I bought 3 games the other day for $8.
Nice.
Yeah, it's bargain hunting. Hell yeah.
See, and that's actually how I knew that we needed to have her on the podcast. We were sitting there talking. She's like, ooh, something's on sale on my wish list. I'm like, oh, cool. What was it? And she's like, keep talking and nobody explodes. I'm like, I want that game. And so
I bought it, actually.
Yeah. I was like, why would you threaten to blow everybody up?
It's really cool. Do you know what it's about?
No.
I haven't played it yet. It's a VR game.
I want to play it too.
Oh, really? Wait, do you have VR?
No.
You can play it non-VR too.
You can play it non-VR. And also I was like, well, hey, if I have it someday, then I don't have to pay the extra money for the game. I just have one.
But one of you wears a VR helmet and you're like disabling a bomb. So there's a bomb in front of you. You got to figure out what wires to cut. And then the person that's not in VR.
So you're describing the bomb to somebody who's not playing the game.
And they have to say, okay, so that looks like it's this kind of bomb, so you should cut the yellow wire first. And then you cut the yellow wire in VR, and hopefully you don't explode.
Yeah.
It's real cool.
So it's
That's
like
crazy.
based on like, okay, if it's a yellow, yellow, white, then you do this. If it's a yellow, white, yellow, then you do this. And so it's like they've got this giant packet of paper that they're going through while you describe what the bomb looks like, and they try to figure out what you're supposed to do to disarm it. You get like, what, 10 minutes?
I'm not sure.
5
I haven't
minutes?
actually played it yet.
You don't get a lot of
it.
time, but it looks hilarious. Yeah. So
That's
really
fun,
excited to try that one.
I really want to play that now.
Yes.
Do they have it for the PS4?
I'm not
Because
sure.
I've got a PSVR, and you've got an Oculus.
Yeah, I've got an Oculus. So
Oh, what the heck?
I don't know. We'll have to. I'll bring it. I got to bring my Oculus in sometime. We can all play.
That would be, we've got a padded room here to play in, so we can actually walk into the wall and it'd be okay.
There's not extra room in here though. Like you have to have more space than this.
Really?
Yeah.
No, you don't. Oh, for a walker. For one where you have to move around.
But for that, you could sit down. It'd be fine.
Yeah, you
would
just
like to
sit
do
2
that.
chairs.
Yeah.
That's all you really
Good
need.
times.
Oh.
Anyway, do you want to tell what you've been playing? PUBG sounds like.
Well, we'll get into what we're playing after I talk about what we're talking about.
Sorry.
My gosh, do you want to run this shit?
No.
I didn't think so.
Really excited.
You want to edit this show later?
What are you saying?
I don't even know. Well, I just know your fear of Adobe Audition.
Oh, God.
So
Why?
Because I'm bad at it. I'm really bad at it.
yeah, that's fine. So yeah, I'm Adam West. That is
Cliff.
and that is
Vicky.
Hey.
I almost said Dylan.
I know. That would have been something Dylan would say.
About half the time Dylan says Adam, so...
So we're going to get into what we're playing here in just a bit, but we're always going to talk about what we're talking about. News. We're going to talk about Epic and PUBG arguing over their that whole Fortnite Battle Royale mode thing, which I've seen it, and it looks like Fortnite is PUBG.
I played it this morning. We'll talk about it.
So we'll talk about that. Some game designer is saying developers would be more candid if gamer culture wasn't so toxic. And I saw that headline before you even put it in our notes, and I was like, well, he's exactly right.
Yeah.
We didn't even know about this until it popped up, and I know you were talking about it earlier.
I knew about it.
I didn't know about it.
I didn't know
I'm
about
super
it.
smart.
Well, when I say we, I don't mean that.
We is everyone but Cliff.
There was a video game voice actor strike. Didn't know that.
For like a year.
Yeah.
Almost.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
Do you
it
know
was
how
a
many
long time.
voiceover auditions I have sent out to game developers for stuff, and I've gotten nothing back?
It's because you're a scab. Jeez.
I was prime picking while these people were on strike. I would have done it. I don't care about no strike. I will cross that picket line. Anyway, there's a new book out for kids, but it's really great for all gamers, so we'll talk about that. And Chinese Room shuts down.
Oh.
If you know what that is.
It's actually, Yeah.
If you don't know what that is, well,
We'll explain it.
right. And we're also going to get to our questions. One from Vinny, we got one from Josh, and one from Chalupa Dios. Cheap free games will cover that. And in the troll corner this week it just says, really?
It's Assassin's Creed.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. That's
The new one coming out?
Yeah.
They're trolling us?
I will talk about it.
That's rude.
You actually have firsthand insight into what I want to talk about. And you don't even
can't
know
wait.
it.
Is it because I pre-ordered it?
It is.
For my Xbox One X Project Scorpio edition. All right. So anyway, first we start off with what we're playing. And I've been playing Destiny 2.
As well. Yeah.
Destiny 2 as well. I played some more Hot Shots Golf World Invitational thing on PlayStation Now just because that's my little
It's your jam.
My happy place.
How long do you think it's going to be until there's a game that we talk about that's not Destiny 2? Like, it's taken over my life.
Well, South Park is coming.
Oh, that's true.
Assassin's Creed is coming.
so the answer is exactly as long as it takes to get a new awesome game out.
Yeah.
Right,
Yep.
basically. So I'm going to say at least a month.
Oh, it's so good, though. How far, what light level are you?
I am 260.
Or power level.
My power level, yeah, because you never played Destiny. Are you going to get it for your PC?
Yes.
Oh,
I am.
October 24th.
I'm really excited. Actually, Keith, the
Keith,
guy
the
at,
other guy?
Yeah, the other guy. The guy at Rock. He was telling me about Destiny. He's like, this game is amazing. He showed me like some gameplay from the first game and sold me on it. So yeah, I got to play.
You're a first-person chick, aren't you?
No, actually, I'm usually not. But lately, it just ends up doing that. All the good games lately are first person.
Yeah.
So I'm playing first person.
I wish I liked those more.
Destiny 2 is the great thing is if you've seen Destiny 1, Destiny 2 is everything you love about Destiny 1 and just slightly better. It's so good.
Slightly better. There's a few things that I kind of
there's things that I don't like.
That's really annoying.
But,
like the when you start a new mission, or not necessarily when you start a new mission, but when you've got a new objective and the marker on your radar changes to the direction you're supposed to go. Sometimes that gets a little confusing.
The
some
radar
of the maps,
is garbage.
Yeah, some of
across
the maps
board.
are really for the later missions, obviously you have to know the maps, but sometimes I feel like you have to know them like the back of your hand to get through places. We were in a mission last night or the night before, and we're like, oh yeah, we go down this way, blah 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 blah. We made it all the way to the end of this map
And you
area
were not in
that
the right
we
place.
were not in the right place, so we
So
couldn't
how much
figure
time
out.
did you kill?
About 20 minutes.
Wow.
That's not bad.
What?
Well, I mean,
Killing 20 minutes?
all things considered.
It's just really annoying.
Yeah.
That's a long time in game.
I think it's one of those games though that just everyone I know is playing it all the time. Like it does not matter. Like I turned on my PlayStation last night just because there was an update yesterday. And literally like my brother texted me like 10 minutes later. He's like, "Why aren't you accepting my invite?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "I invited you to play Destiny." I'm like, in another room.
Right.
And, it just doesn't matter what time of day I turn it on. There's somebody playing.
Yeah,
It's
there's
amazing.
somebody always playing something.
It's just uniting everybody.
Exactly.
That's
Our
it.
Destiny clan two's up to like 20 or 25 people. So, right? Yeah, that's exactly what I said. So there's
All
a bunch
right.
of people. So if you want to be in our Destiny clan, just hit us up on Twitter or Facebook.
And if you are in our clan, play with other clan members so that we can get that sweet, sweet clan XP.
Right, we've hit it the first 3 weeks, though, I think.
Yeah, what? Huh?
We've hit, because there's a limit per
There's a
week.
limit per person.
No,
not
limit per week, I think. Like, we've hit our clan XP goal every week. Like, I think the clan needs 10,000 XP a week.
Oh, yeah.
And that's how
because-
you get your engrams and stuff.
Well, each person can only contribute so much.
5,000. And then the clan needs to hit 10,000 every week to get your.
So that would just mean 2 people need to hit their XP.
Maybe it's 100,000. I don't know. I'm not
I'm
sure
like-
what it is. But we've gotten our.
The one time we actually need Dylan to do math for us,
Right?
he's actually.
Sorry, guys, I am not a good stand-in for that.
That's okay.
I just don't remember the exact numbers, but
Yeah.
we've gotten our engrams every week. So yay, go us! You picked those up from somebody at the tower.
Of course they do.
Yeah.
That's whatever. Anyway, so
It's such
that's
a
what I've
great
been
game.
playing. It's Destiny and golf.
Destiny and golf.
But I really want to play some more Mario Kingdom Battle. I want to play
I started
SteamWorld
playing
Dig
that.
2.
Oh, yeah. I
Yeah.
saw that. Some people were handing out Steam keys. I didn't get any of them.
SteamWorld Dig 2 is probably the best game I've ever played on my DS.
Yeah?
Or the first one, sorry, SteamWorld
Okay.
Dig.
Yeah.
Really?
I've never played SteamWorld Dig, but I played SteamWorld Heist.
They're entirely different.
Yeah, that is what I've heard. They're entirely different, but I
But
like
Heist
the...
is super fun too.
It was.
Like the aesthetic.
Yeah, super cool.
Yeah, they're both very good. Have you played any of either of
No.
them? No. Did you buy SteamWorld Dig 2?
No.
I want it. It's $20.
I want that.
I want it real bad.
I want that, and I want Golf Story. Have you seen that? It's like an RPG golf game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's on the
What?
Switch. Yeah, the Switch is where it is at right now.
That's what, yeah, I
There's
guess.
so much going on there on that system.
And weird stuff too. Like I
Yeah,
love that
all the weird games end up
it's
on
kind of
Switch.
become like the new Vita. I think it's where all the weird indie games are going to go.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, right.
Wait, what are you playing?
Some people don't have a Switch.
Well,
so
get one.
just
There's
okay.
time. You've got a job now. That's perfect. And you got a job at the right time because they're actually available in stores sometimes.
I know.
Sometimes. I play Destiny 2 too as well. Also.
Yes.
I just hit 2.
Destiny and a little tutu.
Yeah. I always play Destiny and a 2 too. I'm like that dude who plays PUBG with the dumb mustache and the fake.
I guess such a
sunglasses.
douchebag.
God, he is. But I'm like
Whatever.
him, except I just always play Destiny and a 2 too. I just hit 232, so now we can do the Night Vale. Nightfall, whatever. Night thing.
Is Nightfall 220?
230.
Is it 230? Okay.
Yeah.
I still haven't finished a Nightfall.
I haven't either, so I'm excited.
I've tried it like 2 or 3 times, not doing it.
I think we're going to do it this weekend.
Oh,
So,
good for you.
Yeah, you can come. I'm still playing West of Loathing. We were talking about that a little beforehand. I still adore that game. The gameplay loop is getting a little repetitive, though. Like, it's not getting harder, which is okay, but it's still really, really funny. I'm just not sure that it's going to be like another... I'm 3 or 4 hours in, so I've got like probably another 8 or 9 hours of game left. I'm just not sure it's going to keep me interested. We'll see. Maybe it will. Maybe it'll get super exciting, but it's still just stupid funny.
Like wackadoodle kind of funny?
Wackadoodle. Like, well, actually, I think she described it best. It's like, it's just dad jokes.
Dad jokes.
jokes over and over. Like, yeah. It's the kind of jokes that my kid would just go like...
Your kid would? Your kid
best
is
guy.
like... Your kid is the sounding board for dad jokes.
Right.
Because he seems like the kid that would just be like, the fish swam into a wall. Damn.
It kind of goes both ways. Because the thing is, if he finds that joke, it's hilarious. I tell him that joke, it's like, oh, Dad.
He's just sad he didn't find it.
Right, exactly. But then this morning, actually, so Fortnite, is it called Battle Royale? I don't know.
It's Fortnite Battle Royale.
Yeah.
Or as they like to call it, inspired by PUBG,
Yeah.
Fortnite's Battle Royale mode.
PUBG with cell shading.
Yeah, it's not
It's not
really
even cell shading,
it's
but
just-
I mean,
yeah.
it's got that cartoony aesthetic to it.
super cartoony. It's literally exactly PUBG. The only difference is the maps. I'm going to say significantly smaller.
Oh yeah.
But really well done. It's really pretty. Like there's good. It's real hilly. The structures are great. And because it's Fortnite, you can actually, if you want to like barricade yourself somewhere, I think you can actually build additions to structures if that's how you want to play the game, which is kind of.
I was watching
strange.
a guy on a Twitch stream yesterday, and he was all, "Oh, I'm probably not going to win this one," and he won. And then he said, "Oh, I'm probably not going to win this one," like 3 games in a row, and
geez.
he won all of them. But there's this one area that's got this big giant rock hill mountain thing that you can't really get up any
Oh
other
yeah,
way.
I was there this morning.
And he built his own trail
Oh geez.
to get up top of it and just pick people off.
And that's what I can't decide is if the best way to do it is to play it like PUBG or if the best way to do it is to play it like Fortnite and actually like build things. So I don't know. Like I've played exactly 2 games. I didn't think I was going to win either of them. And I didn't.
You didn't.
I got 39th on one and 26 on the other. So I still made
That's
it.
not bad.
Yeah,
Improving,
it wasn't.
at
Yeah,
least.
exactly.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad. But it's literally identical to it. Slightly smaller map. Maybe I'm going to say half the size, but it's hard to objectively compare maps. And the only time you see either of them is when you're like parachuting in.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't go out of a plane. You go out of like a bus.
A party bus?
Yeah, like a hot air balloon, I want to say.
It's a giant party bus with music playing, and it's being
Sounds
carried by
amazing.
like a hot air balloon.
That sounds
Yeah.
amazing.
It actually is kind of amazing.
Kind
Yeah,
of thing?
exactly.
Nice.
But past that, it's identical, except that you can't crouch. You can crouch, but you can't lay down. You can go prone in PUBG,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Which
Is that what prone means?
Yes,
Yes, he's
it
laying
is.
down.
You learn something new every
Okay.
day on the Bite Me podcast. But yeah, no, it's fun. I mean, I would say the one huge advantage it has over PUBG is that, first of all, it's free. It's out today on the Xbox, PC, and PS4. So,
Oh, man.
yeah.
Well, I think I found what I'm playing tonight other than
Yeah.
Destiny. Oh, no, I'm going to see Jeepers Creepers 3 tonight. Sorry.
Wait, like the horror movie?
Yeah.
Oh.
There's a third one. It's in theaters
Interesting.
one day only.
Fabulous.
That
going.
sounds terrible.
Anywho. So there's that.
But then PUBG's not happy with the...
No, yeah, we'll talk about that. But yeah, and I understand why they wouldn't be happy
Yeah,
about it.
right. But
So,
yeah,
I don't know. Have you been playing anything? Some
Oh.
Half-Life?
Some Half-Life. Honestly, I just got a new job kind of recently, so...
You've been kind of
I
busy.
heard.
Yeah, so I haven't been playing as much as normal. Also, I have a tendency, because until now I've been just the brokest person around, I have a tendency to find really not well-known games that are very, very cheap. So the ones I've been playing lately are WildStar, which is an MMORPG.
I have heard great things about that.
Have you heard of it?
Yeah.
That makes me really
Yeah.
happy.
I've never played it, but I've heard
I
of it.
love that game.
Yeah.
I've sunk a lot of my life in that game. They do a really good job of balancing like an MMO with an open world while also having like a linear story.
Sure.
That's like really engaging. So I love that about that game. I've been playing Half-Life, obviously.
Half-Life is... Because I've been playing... And actually, I was saying I've been playing Half-Life, but I was actually playing Black Mesa, which is
yeah.
the redone version of Half-Life.
Yeah.
But
Well, Black Mesa is it's a fan game or something,
Kind
isn't
of.
it? It's not by...
it's not by Valve,
Yeah.
but it's like approved, like has their
Yeah,
stamp.
yeah.
So,
It's officially canon or something.
But
Yeah.
man, Half-Life it's a weird game to go back to. It's because I played it the first time and I've played it since then, and it's like mechanically that game's weird.
Oh my
It's-
gosh, ladders.
Right. Oh my god.
Oh my god, ladders.
Holy crap, ladders.
Holy shit. with
And
ladders.
like the jumping is
Oh, yeah,
really
no,
hard
it's
too.
super
There's a lot
awkward.
of platforming and it's really hard.
It's not designed for platforming.
Wait, there's platforming? Oh, yeah.
not,
let's
not a
touch it.
whole
hard
lot.
platforming.
But yeah, it's like these ones where like boxes are hanging from the ceilings, but for some reason you slide when you land on them, and so you're just like sliding off. It's like you make it and then you slide out.
That
It took me
part-
like 20 minutes
Same.
to get like 20
I-
feet across a room.
I eventually looked up a guide because I couldn't I couldn't figure out how to jump from the I tried and tried. I'm like, I can't make this jump. Like it's not.
I do
not
like that they
close
let you
enough.
save. The nice thing is it's got the
You can
save
save
feature. You
anywhere.
can save anywhere.
Yep.
So I just saved like 16 times.
Same, and that's
Yep.
what I ended up doing. But then I'm like, I can't make this jump, so I looked up a guide, and it's like, no, you just jump from here to here. I'm like,
No, you don't.
but I can't do that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay,
This
one more
is
try.
why-
And then I did it. And I'm like, oh.
This is why I think there should be 0 platforming sections in a first-person shooter. Period.
See, and
It
like,
depends
just
on
be-
some of them have good enough controls to do that.
yeah.
But it is really hard when you can't see your own feet.
Yeah.
So,
We had this
yeah.
argument last week about Destiny 2 because Destiny 2 has not a lot of platforming, but it definitely has
actually-
platforming.
man,
I had a conversation with some people, and there is significantly more platforming in Destiny 2 than there is in Destiny 1.
I would not disagree. There might be more, but the platform in Destiny 2 is significantly easier.
I think it's terrible.
Nothing you try to jump onto disappears.
Oh.
Yeah,
That was,
Destiny 1,
that was literally one section.
2 sections.
No, the other one, they didn't disappear. You had to figure out where they were.
Whatever.
Ah, they were there. They didn't disappear. They
And there
just
was
never
also
showed
that
up.
jumping part where that like you're on that giant thing and you had to like jump off at exactly the right time. There's like a big piece of stuff. I don't remember where
big
it was.
piece
A
of
big piece
stuff.
of stuff.
My favorite.
You like jumped onto a
stuff.
ship, I want to say, and like on the
okay.
top of it had to jump off. Yeah, the jumping in Destiny 1's significantly worse than Destiny 2.
I like when there's some platforming just because I like to be able to kind of engage a little
it
bit
mixes
with the
up a little
environment.
bit.
Yeah. It's more than just running around. I know you don't.
We
like
need to
it,
get our
Adam.
cameras back here because
I'm on it with the
And
face
just
making
only
today.
with Adam though, because he's the one who makes all the.
No, we want people to watch.
So,
People be like, oh, skip that one.
but yeah,
So.
so, I don't know. I like a little bit of platforming, not too much, but
Yeah.
it's something that's easy. That's you're like not spending an hour trying to.
yeah, I think the platforming in Destiny is perfect. I thought the platforming in Half-Life was objectively very difficult.
Oh my
There was
god!
parts of it that
Oh,
were
it's
just
a
too hard.
disaster.
Yeah.
It's 90s gaming for you.
Right? I think that's it. It has
It's
a
just
real.
an old game.
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's like going back and playing anything off your PS2 now.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
after,
right.
like playing a third-person open-world game on a PS2 versus now it's like GTA 3 feels nothing like GTA 5.
What year
So-
did Half-Life come out? 2009.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh man,
Did
I
you just
thought
call
it
it
was way older.
90s?
I did call it 90s.
Oh no, I'm sorry. That's
Oh, my
that's an
gosh.
adaptation. No, that's not right. That's 100% not right.
There we go. Ooh.
Yeah. Right?
Wait, I need to know what.
1998.
Okay,
I was
you're
right.
right.
It is 90s. Oh, God, don't scare me like that, man.
Right?
Jesus, that game is almost as old as I am.
Okay, and then you just scared both of us, so I'm turning her mic off right now.
That game came out a year after I was married.
That came out 3 years after I graduated high
I was
school.
going to say 2 years
It
after
came
I
out
graduated
3
from high
years
school.
after, 4 years after I was born. You guys.
So what?
All
So,
right.
I love you
So-
guys. You're so great.
so what we did is we found someone younger than Dylan.
Right.
That was our first
Hey.
mistake.
Moving on to news, Cliff and Adam are dead. They just died of a heart attack. They won't be back today.
Ugh.
So that's all you're playing right now?
And then the other game would be Guns of Icarus. I just play that constantly.
Guns of Icarus. I've never heard of that.
That's another smaller game. That's very steampunk. And what you're doing on it is basically you get teams of people on airships. And there's 4 people on a team. You got one person driving the thing. And then 3 other people that split up the duties of shooting at other people and fixing the one you're on. And so instead of playing as like it's a battle game, but instead of playing as like a single entity, you're like 4 of you playing as a single
very
entity,
cool.
which is like
Is that kind of
fun.
like, what is that game, Lovers in a Dangerous Space Time or whatever? Where you
No,
have
I haven't
It
where
looks
you're like-
actually more like Sea of Thieves, to be honest.
But is it kind of the idea of like you've got 4 or 5 people
No,
controlling one thing?
It's everybody's got their own controls.
Yeah.
So it's more like I tend to go engineer. That's like just the route I go. And so I'm spending a lot of my time fixing stuff
Yeah.
while the captain is spending his time telling the gunners where to go.
Yeah,
and stuff
very
like
Sea
that.
of Thieves looking, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's kind of first person-y and...
Okay.
Yeah, it's first person-y, but like a weird. I've never played another game like it. I've never played Sea of Thieves.
Yeah,
So,
not yet. Don't feel bad.
but yeah, so I don't know. I like that one. It's really small.
I remember when this came out. Yeah, this looks cool.
Yeah, and then they just had an Alliance update happen recently, an expansion. And
Very
I got
cool.
that one too.
This
It's
looks
awesome.
really fun, actually.
I love that game.
Yeah,
We might have to play that.
right? Do you-
It's not
it-
a lot of people in lobbies, but it's so fun.
is
so I
it
don't
like
care.
is it a game that you can go on and just like play with strangers and not?
Yeah, for sure. I've actually made some good friends off
Nice.
that game. Yeah.
'Cause that's like something I hate about games like this because I hate people. And so
Yeah. You can also go on and play with people you do know. That's
yeah.
that's like,
I don't.
you know,
I hate people, so I don't have that many friends. So
There you go.
no, this looks cool though. This
Yeah.
looks really cool. Oh, it's on the PS4 too.
It is?
Nice.
Okay, that's
Well,
news
there
to me.
you go.
I did
I
not
might
know
have
that.
to do that.
Apparently, I don't know. It says the
Sweet.
PS4 reveal. Maybe it's not on PS4 yet.
Maybe it's coming.
Yeah. Huh, very cool.
Well, anyway, I recommend it. That's one of my favorites.
Looks
That's
fun.
just a constant. I'm always playing
Always
that. So,
playing.
yeah.
It's your Destiny too.
Yeah, it's my Destiny too.
Perfect.
All right, well, there's that. That's what we've been playing.
You know what the saddest part about this is?
What's that?
There's no Dylan to say news.
No, that's okay.
Oh, okay, you're
That's
right.
perfectly fine. As always, though, make sure you find us if you're listening to us on iTunes or Google Play or Stitcher or whatever. Like us, rate us, review us. Because we've gotten some really kick-ass reviews the last couple of weeks, which I think is awesome.
Right?
Whatever that. Well, yeah, you snipped another one and sent it to me, and it was like, "That's the greatest thing ever." Blah,
Yeah,
blah,
if
blah.
you're that guy,
yeah.
and I don't remember what your name is, so I'm going to have to look you up.
But if you are that guy, if you leave us a review, just screenshot it and send it to us with some info, and we'll try and get a sticker out to you.
what was this dude's name?
That's all you got to do.
Yeah, that's all you got to do.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyway,
Steel Sit.
Steel Sit.
CIT. I guess.
Okay.
Sure.
Sure.
guy.
Anyway, after what we're playing, we always do news.
Yeah.
There, that's
Perfect.
close enough. I'm
Dylan,
not.
Dylan does a very nice news break for us.
Ah, man.
And by-
should have
Wow.
practiced. I
No,
would've-
no. We're actually better
No
off
amount of
without it.
practice could make you that bad.
All right, cool. Nice.
Yeah. Up first, we're going to talk about Epic and PUBG bickering over the Unreal Engine and Battle Royale.
Yeah.
And this is specifically about the Fortnite Battle Royale mode thing. Well, and I didn't realize that PUBG was built off the Unreal Engine, so I didn't know that they were licensed to use that engine through Epic, and now Epic's using for Battle Royale the PUBG thing for their game. So it's like you don't really want to piss one of the others off.
That was the most confusing description ever, but yes.
But you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. It makes more sense now because I'd heard that they were mad, and I thought it was kind of dumb that they were mad because I'm like, all right, are you going to get mad at everybody who makes it?
Right.
A Battle Royale
and
style
everyone's going to be making one.
Oh, yeah, for sure. After PUBG did so amazingly,
1.5 million concurrents this week.
And it keeps going up and up and up. That game is not stopping.
But I think the funny part is it came out, like, their original thing was they released this press release that was very, I'm going to say strangely worded.
Who released it?
The PUBG folk.
Bluehole.
Yeah, Bluehole. And we're just kind of like, well, I don't know how we feel about this. Like, we might have to look into legal options. And everyone was like, there are no legal options. You can't like copyright a game type.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
It's like a genre.
But it's like even says in here what Changam Kim from, I guess he's the Bluehole. Yeah, he's the Bluehole VP.
Yeah, Bluehole's based out of Korea, I believe.
Yeah, he says the first thing I'd like to clarify is this is not about the Battle Royale.
But this is their follow-up.
Yeah, this is their updated.
Yeah. So the original one was very like we don't like this, and we're exploring our options, and everyone's like, what do you think your options are? You don't have any options.
Yeah.
But like you were saying too, this game is built on the Unreal Engine,
right?
And so
that starts getting into weird conflict of interest.
Well, and but it also like gets into a point where what are they going to say? Like, well, we don't want your engine anymore.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? You're just going to rebuild the entire game.
They just kind of get screwed.
They're unfortunately in kind of a rock and a hard place. But like you can't. I mean, this would be like Doom saying like, well, you can't make Duke Nukem.
Yeah.
It's like Warcraft saying, well, you can't make Command and Conquer. Like those are all old games, but you have to go back that far. Like you can't copyright a game type. You can't.
No, I do understand why they're having a hard time, especially because they mentioned in the article that like some of the risks include like if Unreal launched something for their own game and didn't release it, then to other. For instance, PUBG, then now they've got an automatic leg up.
That they could develop tech and not give it to them.
And that's like...
And I get it, but I mean, it's kind of the risk you run not making your own engine. I mean, and no one wants to, but I kind of at the same time, I'm like, I don't know. I'm curious what they think... This game mode's so simple. Like, I'd be very curious what they think they could add to it. Like what are Epic going to make that's going to make it a big differentiator between what they already have. So.
Right. It's just the only difference between the two games obviously are just the overall art style and types of guns you get. There's not a whole lot there's not going to be a whole lot of difference.
You've got I think that maybe that's kind of the reality too, is that I think PUBG is always going to have a place in people that like PUBG is not super hyper realistic, but it's way more realistic than Fortnite's ever going to be. Like you don't, in PUBG you get actual guns that actually do, that are modeled off real world things. In Fortnite you get this weird, here's a machine gun. You start out with a pickaxe. Yeah. So,
I haven't seen anything about Fortnite yet, but I'm kind of getting at the idea it's like all in the TF2 kind of direction. Yeah.
Actually graphically very similar.
Yeah, okay. So like the TF2 version of
very
PUBG.
cartoony. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's really cartoony.
Which is its own kind of thing.
Exactly. Like there's room for both of these. If I were PUBG, like I said, the only thing I would worry about is that Fortnite is free. Like it could easily cannibalize a lot of players. But I mean, that being said too, I popped in this morning and there was 160 people in the lobby. So
the other thing is that like thanks to like PUBG gets some like I don't know what to call it.
Credit?
No, like darn it. Can't think of the word. Well, PUBG is a little better off because they've got such a huge base already.
Yeah.
So I want to play PUBG, not Fortnite, because most of the people I want to go play with are on PUBG.
Yeah.
So
they get the benefit of having such a heavily installed base already.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, they've already sold 10 million copies or something.
They got to be pushing 12.
And so when someone has already invested $30 into a game.
Yeah,
you're
not going to switch over to the free version.
Exactly. So, like I said, I think there's a place for both of them.
So I watched the dude play Fortnite, And yeah, it looks different. It doesn't play different.
No, not at all.
However, like what he was saying, like they're not talking about the actual type of game itself, but the way the circle comes in, the way you open doors, the way you hide, the way even the colors of the smoke or whatever coming in around you, it's all exactly the same color and the same look.
That's weird.
It's almost the same look in some cases.
I would be very interested
PUBG.
to find out how long this has been in development, because I played it this morning and it feels really good. It feels super solid. It looks great,
polished.
which makes me wonder if
this was a thing they already had in development by the time.
Yeah,
PUBG
because I mean,
came
and
out.
Fortnite only came out a month ago,
if that.
Yeah, and so
And it's a paid beta, basically. Is what you were saying.
And so, like, how long have they been working on this? Like, I mean, you almost wonder if it was like, obviously they knew what PUBG was going to be, and PUBG's been out for what, 9 months now? No, so March to 6
April.
months.
Yeah.
So to make this mode, I would think it would have taken a couple of months at least.
But I think that's where a lot of the legal issues are going to come
kind
up.
of that
It's
insider
like, did
trading.
they have access to their code because they're licensed to have
Well, I
our
can't imagine
engine?
that they would have access to your code, because that's really kind of in theory, a one-way street. Like,
Is it?
Yeah.
Epic supplies code to PUBG, but I mean, PUBG also gets support from Epic. So
Right. So when something changes on that end, they have to change their way.
Yeah.
So who knows
I don't know
how they did it?
I don't know, but it's interesting, and I mean, I think it's going to be interesting. I don't think there's going to be any legal repercussions. They'd be silly to try and sue the people that they license
I can
an
see them
engine
like
from.
wanting to get some things in writing,
Yeah.
like just to ensure that future stuff won't happen.
Or, I mean, who knows? Like, one of the commentators I saw said, what this is going to end up is lawyers talking to each other and, talkie, and then probably Epic, who has tons of money because, not only do they make video games, but they also make the Unreal Engine, will probably go like, okay, here's $4 million. Everybody wins, and... and maybe that's why they put out the press release in the first, point. I don't know. Quickly, speaking of code sharing, PUBG has signed up with Microsoft to be, Microsoft is publishing PUBG on the Xbox, so they're part of the Insider program and all that stuff. Apparently, the water technology from Sea of Thieves is going to go into PUBG because the Sea of Thieves people are also part of that program.
Oh.
Sea of Thieves is just everywhere.
I know. So apparently Sea of Thieves is like, they literally are talking, they're like, your water is, it's kind of, it's only okay. And they're like, do you want ours? They're like, of course we do.
Sure.
That's kind of awesome.
And Sea of Thieves water is gorgeous. So
Can you talk about that?
that's really, it's just beautiful. That's all I can say. Yeah. I can't say much, but it's
I know
beautiful.
you can't. I know. Because how long is that embargo till? When is that?
Until it comes out. I
Which
don't
is
know.
what, sometime next year?
I don't know. Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Well, there is that. If you do pick up the Fortnite Battle Royale mode on PS4, Xbox, PC, whatever, let us know. Tell us what you think.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear about it.
I think we're going to play some squads. I'd like to play some squads.
Yeah. PS4, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't have my Xbox.
I prefer to play my Xbox.
I know.
But
Give me a month.
yeah.
All right. So up next, game designer says developers would be way more candid if gamer culture wasn't so toxic.
Yeah.
And
This is kind of like a no-duh sort of article. Yeah.
But the funny thing is like, I say that, you say that, you say that, and
Other people don't,
it's hilarious
I guess.
because this article comes out, and what happens? A bunch of
Oh my gosh.
gamers come out and are like, this isn't true.
Wow. Let me guess. They're being really mean about it. Wow.
But it was it's a really interesting story because what it essentially says is, a developer was talking to a friend of his, and he's like, I really wish developers were more transparent and told us what they were doing. And the developer said, well, we are to each other. But every time we try and say anything to the public, if we're like, hey, there's this really cool feature coming out, we want you to know about it. Like, either we get a bunch of, horrible hate mail saying, well, I don't want that feature, I want this feature.
Right.
Or, why are you spending your time on that when you could be fixing this bug that only affects me? And they're like, it's literally not worth,
Headache. It's just a pain.
a ton of developers, chimed in and said, we want to be more. We want to tell you about what we're doing. We don't want to be radio silent for 3 years.
Yeah.
We want to tell you what's going on, but we can't because you're so awful.
Yep.
And I mean, I think everyone's thought that though.
For sure.
Rocket League got 2 new cars today, and like if only they could fix their networking
But
problems.
it wasn't a Trans Am.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
I don't see
Why can't I play
why
as
can't
Bigfoot?
Why can't? Oh, I'd play Rocket League with monster trucks so bad.
Right? Well, we should just all call the developer up and leave scathing emails.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Because
thing
that's
is,
what makes
I don't know,
sense.
You can critique things without being
Right?
horrible. I don't know. There's a weird sense of entitlement, I
Right?
would say,
You
in
think?
gaming. This, I don't know why. I actually don't know where that came
No,
from.
I
But
agree.
it has existed since I got into gaming,
Yeah.
long before. So
The internet's made it so much worse, though.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Oh,
so much worse.
for as much as I love the internet,
Yeah.
I really hate the internet.
Yep, no, I'm
I
with you,
really
man.
do.
It's
yeah.
well, and it's
Terrible. It's so
the ridiculous
terrible.
thing about it too is it's one thing being critical, and it's one thing even being annoyingly awfully critical, and then it's a third thing when you're like, I hate you and I'm going to kill you because of this decision you made.
Seriously, though.
Developers are getting death threats.
Yeah.
How does that happen?
I was thinking about that when I read the article. I was like, God, I have seen death threats.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time on Twitter. That is where these guys are. And so, I see the death threats rolling in real time, and I'm like, why is this happening?
It just-
No, I'm not a huge fan of this either, but God, I'm not going to... What?
Yeah. I don't know how to... I don't know how you'd fix that. I don't know how you...
That's just a whole cultural thing, and I don't know how to fix a culture, man.
It's awful. It's just gross. But I guess maybe just be nicer to devs. They work really, really hard.
know.
I guess they don't realize that if there were no devs, there would be
Be no
games.
video
Yeah.
games, right?
So it's like...
Maybe treat them better. Just be
Right? So
nicer.
you don't go to TGI Fridays and piss off the cook.
Right.
You don't do that.
Yeah.
You just don't. Because he's going to screw up your order. He's
Yeah.
going to spit in your food.
Yeah.
He's going to rub it on some body part and serve it to you.
Yeah.
So don't yell at the devs for doing
Yeah.
something that you might not really understand,
Yeah.
let alone not like.
Well, I think that's the thing too. Objectively think about this too. If a graphic artist comes out hey, we made all these new cool things, graphically for your thing, and you're like, why haven't you fixed the network code? Those two things are not related.
Yeah.
They have nothing
Your
to do with it.
designers don't ever fix your network code. They have network engineers for that. Think about
Finish your trade school gig and get your certificate and go fix it yourself.
Well, think about your job too. Think about what you do, and think about the outside of your company, and think about people looking into it. And no one knows what you do. No one cares what you do, and it's the exact same thing with game dev. It's a very, very complicated box inside there that for AAA titles might have 800, 1,200, 1,500 employees. They're all doing something. None of them are just at lunch. They're all working. So,
But we all know they're making a whole lot of money.
I guess, right?
Just saying.
Yeah, no, that's just...
Just be nice.
Yeah, stop
Just be
Please be
nice.
nice.
Don't be mean.
As Will Wheaton says,
Especially the
don't be
people
a
making
dick.
these things that we love.
Right?
I know.
If they were
I'm just
native-
really excited when it comes out. I saw some people getting... you guys remember when Dream Daddy came out?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm a big fan of the Game Grumps anyway. So who are the guys who made that game?
Yeah.
And they released that game one day late. And there were so many people being awful. And I was like, oh my God, literally. Okay, first of all, half of you already know these guys and like them. So
Yeah.
chill out. And the other half, I'm just
And literally,
they're one day.
They
because
made a
need
statement
to
on
sleep.
Twitter. Yeah, they're like, we've crunched 4 weeks. We want to make sure we hit this target. We want to
And
make
they
sure
wanted
it's
to
good.
make sure it was good.
Yeah.
They were getting bugs out.
So we're
and
going
then-
to push it one day. We're going to get some sleep, and we're going to come back and hit it and go. And you
People
just-
were angry. I'm like,
Over
take
one
a set.
day?
Yeah, over
Wow.
one day. One day, and also I'm sure the game came out so much better because of it. And then the great thing is there were a couple of bugs that they did miss. And when people found them, they got pissed. I'm like, seriously? You get mad at them for taking the time to fix the
Right.
bugs. And when they miss a couple, you get mad at them because they didn't take the time to fix them. What do you want?
You can't
Like,
win. You just can't win.
yeah, no, you just can't win. I don't know. I just... Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Bad gaming people make
moral
me
of the
mad.
story. Be nice and don't hate on the devs because without them, we wouldn't be doing this show.
Exactly. And that's very important.
I'm
Yeah.
like, seriously. This gives our life some kind of meaning. So the thing that I didn't even know about, and neither did Vicky, but evidently Cliff did, because he knows everything.
I read a lot of news.
Yeah, okay. A video game voice actor strike comes to an end. Nearly year-long strike.
Yeah.
Had no idea. I remember the whole Writers Guild strike or whatever.
I don't...
What, back during when Heroes was on the air, which is why season 2 of Heroes was just a big turd.
Oh, okay.
So I remember hearing about that just because it was such a big deal in Hollywood, but I had no idea that there was a video game voice
Yeah,
actor
and
strike.
it's been a bunch of people striking against a specific bunch of studios, including Activision and I think Disney and I want to say EA, but maybe not. WB Games, just a bunch of different.
Who does the Batman Arkham games?
WB, I believe.
Oh crap! So then how do people go about voicing parts for those games if there's a voice?
They got non-union actors to do it. So yeah.
Interesting.
But I mean, really, what these voice actors wanted was pretty sane. I thought.
No, it was pretty reasonable.
Yeah, they want a little more money, and I think a lot of it was just because video games are getting to the point where they're making millions and millions and millions of dollars, and these actors just weren't getting
royalties. They weren't getting
they weren't getting the royalties for it. They weren't getting paid extra if they had to come back and do a bunch of stuff. But a lot of what they wanted, in addition to money, was just things that when. I was going to say, I actually hope Adam can talk about this a little bit, but when your voice is your commodity, it's something you have to protect. And, they really wanted things like, if I'm going to come, because think about a video game. Think about, this is the perfect example. Think about Tomb Raider, the new one. Like, that voice actress had to come in and grunt and scream. Because, I mean, that was her only voice acting for 80% of that game, was her grunting and screaming for hours. Someone has to physically come in and record that. Now, think about how hard it would be to... Okay, you scream, and then the guy goes, yeah, no, if you could just do that again a little louder, please, and then do that for 4 hours.
Yeah.
Like, think about what your voice would be like. And, I mean, that can damage all sorts of things would be my assumption. It's hard on your voice.
Yeah, when you do voice work, you have to take. It's like if you're an athlete, you have to take care of your body in a certain way to keep up peak performance. Otherwise, you're going to start losing games.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, I'm a terrible example because I smoke and I drink, which is not good for your voice. But it's like when if I was an actual voice actor for a living, like I cut commercials, I record commercials, and I make noise with my computer. That's one thing. But if I was a straight up voiceover actor, no, I wouldn't be smoking. Yeah. I wouldn't be doing. I mean, I'm not a big. I used to be like a pack a dayer.
Yeah,
and I still managed to do my job then, but. It's like if you got to take care of your voice, and if you have to go into a studio and scream, 10 straight minutes worth of screaming over the course of an hour, that's going to hurt your throat. Yeah. That's going to take a toll on you. And when that's your moneymaker, you have to start setting boundaries. Yeah. You have to start setting rules in place.
Well, I mean, it sounds crazy too, but like we record for about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes every week, and there are times when I get done with this and my throat hurts. Like I'm physically.
Just talking for
tired.
that long.
It's hard.
Yeah.
And so when, you think about these voice actors that are going in and having to do this for 4, 6, 8 hours, and it's literally you're just talking. You're running lines over and over and over again until they get it right. That's really hard.
One of our station voices in the building here, or not in the building, but the voice for one of the stations in the building, she is on, I want to say, close to 200 radio stations.
Holy cow.
Whoa.
Yeah, she's massive. And she's also the voice of the 20 or whatever, the 20-minute pre-show entertainment before the movies at Regal Cinemas or whatever.
Oh, really?
Yeah. First, she does the first look stuff and the blah, blah, blah.
Funny.
Nice.
Yeah, so she does all those stations, and she does that.
Wow.
So... imagine what her throat feels like at the end of the day.
But they just wanted some protection for that. They wanted some protections for they wanted to kind of know what video game they don't need to know what game they're working on, but they want to know the code name for it. They want to know if it's part of a series. They want to know if they're taking over a role from someone else who's done this role previously. They wanted to know if the game features a bunch of like extreme violence or sexual violence or all these different things, just so they could make an intelligent decision as to whether or not they wanted to be part of this game or not. They weren't asking for the world. They were asking for...
I mean, one of the things they mentioned was that they wanted to know whether they would have to use any slurs or any use any offensive language. And I was like, that seems like a totally reasonable thing, because you'd hate to be there 3 hours into recording and then see a line and be like, I'm not saying this.
That.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So, that protects the studio too, because now...
Yeah, exactly.
You don't have people walking out halfway through the project. So.
And it sounds like I don't think they got everything they wanted. I don't think the studios got everything they wanted. So, compromise is probably where you come to in something like this.
And I will have to say that on certain things, some of the voice actors should just be a little, I don't want to say lenient, but just a little lax in what they're asking for, because at the end of the day, they haven't left their house because they are working out of their bedroom closet in their mansion in the Hollywood Hills, I'm sure.
Probably not.
But I'm just saying, most voiceover actors don't have an actual studio they go to and work in.
Think?
Yeah.
No, I know.
Interesting.
Oh, all our voice people, they all work from home.
Oh, see, again, I've actually heard a lot of voice people that actually do travel for these things, though.
Oh,
like for
really?
video game stuff, yeah.
Huh, interesting, because, most
It
of the
probably
voice
just
people that I
probably
know
depends
do
on
it all
where
with
you
their
are,
own.
and it probably depends on technology,
Who you're
you're
working
working with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah. So anyway, well, there's that. And the SAG-AFTRA National Board is going to review the new contract at its upcoming meeting in October.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see if everybody gets what they want.
Again, take care of the people that make our games.
Yeah,
Seriously.
no kidding.
You don't want me voicing your games.
Adam plays. Nolan North plays.
Plays who?
Nolan North. He's the voice actor for everything. He's the Uncharted guy. He's
That guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's in everything.
Literally, like you throw a rock at a video game, Nolan North is probably in there somewhere. So don't throw rocks at video games.
All right, up next, a new book for kids, but it's pretty good for all gamers, yeah?
Yeah.
Tell us about this. What do we got?
I ran across this morning.
I love this.
Right? Isn't it
Yes,
cool?
I love it.
So this guy's a freelancer for Kotaku, I think, but he also is a 6th grade teacher. And because he's a 6th grade teacher, people come up to him all the time, like, "Hey, what games should I play?" Because they know he's a game reviewer. And so he started kind of thinking through what games would you recommend to a 6th grader. What game should I think it's called What Game Should
It's called
Everyone Try Before. Yeah, well, it's called
101 video games to play before you grow up.
There you go. And so I think the idea was, these games have to kind of meet certain criteria, though. His one criteria was none of them could be rated M, and that meant any game in a series. So he said he had to throw Castlevania out because one of the Castlevania games is rated M. I don't know which one.
Really?
Yeah, apparently.
Oh, man, but Castlevania is like such a...
Oh, yeah.
It's such a classic. And obviously, it's still a great game. It's just also thinking marketing towards kids.
Yeah.
He's got a really good point. That way they could play the whole franchise and enjoy it.
And so the idea was 101 games that a 12-year-old could play the entire series. And sometimes it's not series.
One of the ones I saw he threw out was Five Nights at Freddy's because it was some
Too
parents
scary.
just said it was too scary for their kids, so he took it out.
Even though a lot of my kid's 10 and tons of his friends play Five Nights at Freddy's.
That scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, it scares me.
My nephew's 8
I
and
couldn't do it.
loves that game.
Yeah, it's not for me. But
Or was 8. I think when he was telling me about it, he was like 8 or 9.
Yeah, but what I really like about this is it literally it's a game per page, or maybe I think some of them looked like they had kind of full, like Mario got a full page spread because there's
Because it's
Mario, man.
but it's really cool. It'll tell you what system you can play it on, what genre it's in, like the actual teen rating, that kind of stuff. When it first came out, and who the developer was, and then it gives you kind of an overview of the entire series. But then it lets you at the bottom. There's you can check a box to say, hey, I've played it, and you can give the series or the game stars, kind of take notes on it. It's just a super fun
really
idea.
Cute. I love that they have the my favorite moment. It's like, this is so great to look back on.
It's one of those things that I wish I'd had.
Yeah, it's like when you're 12 and you go back when you're 24 and you look, it's like, oh man, I forgot how much I love that game. So this would have been so cool to have.
And looking, the table of contents is you can go to Amazon and look at the table of contents, and it's super fun. It's all the games you'd expect, and they're all awesome, but it's got a platformer section and an action adventure section and sports and RPGs and puzzles and party and rhythm. I'm gonna have to skip the party rhythm section. I think I'm not gonna Just Dance.
What?
Oh my gosh!
Sorry,
are you kidding?
No.
Yeah, Just Dance. No, I break a hip.
See, that's the difference. We're almost, he's 40, I'm almost 40. It's
so in the party and rhythm section, that sucks that I don't see Amplitude.
Oh, sorry, man.
It's such a great game, but it's probably because of the content and some of the songs.
Could be, yeah. But this book's super cheap too. It's $8.
Yeah.
I'm buying this.
Right? I think I'm going to too.
No, I'm hardcore buying it. I'm going to fill out the whole thing. I'm doing it.
But I think that's the thing is I think my kid would have a lot of fun filling it out. But as an adult, there are series that I have not played. There are series that I've missed, and it's just a fun way to kind of go through those and check that box.
Yeah, there you go. And in a weird backtracking to where we were talking about gamer culture and how it could be not good. This is a great way to start formulating in a way that's positive.
Yep.
Just get kids involved in it early and don't stay out of it. Just hey, here's great stuff to check out. Enjoy it. Talk about why you like it instead of why you hate it, stuff like that. So it's a good way. It's how you start.
Yes.
We should start a
stuff like
GoFundMe to raise some money and buy this book for all those toxic little gamers.
There we go.
Send it to them and be like,
all
find
those
your happy
millions
place.
of people.
Yeah, we can do that. Our show has that.
Read this book. Don't watch YouTube. Those are the secrets.
Bite Me single-handedly tackles the toxic gamer culture.
Yeah, and we win.
Yep.
Okay.
Cool book, though. Check it out.
Oh yeah, no, I'm on it.
I'll post it on our Facebook too.
All right, studio closing the Chinese room.
Oh, this is super sad.
I know.
This
So
is,
the studio behind Everybody's Gone to the Rapture, which is my favorite walking simulator.
And Dear Esther.
I have never played either of those games, but I
what?
just checked them out on
Dear
Dear
Esther.
Esther.
Oh, I don't know that one.
It was like kind of what started the walking simulator genre.
Yeah, and from what I hear, it's everyone's gone to
Everybody's
the Rapture.
Gone to the Rapture.
Yeah, that's like the spiritual successor to Dear
Yeah,
Esther.
it is.
So
Really? I didn't know
so
that.
I checked them both out on Steam before I came in, and they look awesome, and I want to play them both. I love walking sims. I was
Yeah,
telling this to
me
Cliff
too.
earlier.
The first one I ever played was Everybody's Gone to the Rapture.
Oh, really?
God, that's
That was
so
the first
great.
one I'd ever done.
That's
Yeah.
that's setting the bar high.
Yeah, well, yeah, because everyone that I've played since, I'm kind of like, okay. Although, What
On a
Remains of
scale
Edith
of 1
Finch.
to
What
Oh
Remains of
my
Edith
gosh.
Edith
Finch
Finch
is
is
good.
great.
Edith Finch is so good.
You
We
should
interviewed
check
the
out
developer.
our
Did you really? Oh,
creative
The
director.
creative director.
You should check it out. It's
That's
pretty
good stuff.
that's so neat.
So they have closed up. Why?
It sounded like just
Money.
no.
Not even.
They were just burned out.
Yeah.
They said doing What's Remains of Edith Finch just kind of took it out of them. It was the first kind of non-indie game. They were partnered with PlayStation.
Talk
and
about
they-
Everybody's Gone to the Rapture.
Okay. Yeah. And they said that it was just hard. You know, it was hard working with a company, that was giving them input from a completely different culture. They were really, kind of beholden to Sony for a lot of reasons. And they said that after doing it, they didn't have a lot of like creative juices left. And like you hear that a lot from little indie people that then get pushed to working with a big publisher. Like sometimes it's a great experience, but I think more often, I wouldn't say more often than not, but I think that occasionally it's just hard. And they said they're just kind of a little bit creatively bankrupt, and they've got another game they're kind of working on that they're not sure if and when it'll ever come out, and they're just kind of, I don't know if they're like shuttering the studio as much as like let's maybe
Like
want to
hiatusing.
kind of hiatusing and seeing where they end up.
Yeah.
But God, it's like, as a huge fan of those walking sim games, like that's just,
I know,
that's sad.
We could just hope that more developers kind of take after what they've come up with.
I think it's a hard genre to be successful into.
Oh, it's
There's
such
so
a
much work. There's such a long development.
And a
cycle for
lot
it.
of resources for a 2 or 3 hour game that a lot of people are going to be like, I'm not paying $20 for a 3 hour game.
Right.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's too bad. Definitely too bad. But maybe, like
It sounded like everybody left on good terms.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping we'll still see the people who created it just kind of working on other stuff.
and that's
That'd
what
be
that's
awesome.
like the plus that you've got to take out of any of these. Anytime a studio closes, anytime a studio breaks up, anytime a founder leaves, is you just hope that now, there's 10 people that are going to other companies that could start another indie company that could be great, or could, influence another developer to make something great. So yeah, hopefully they can all land somewhere nice. But that's just a bummer.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I haven't played Everybody's Gone to the Rapture, so now is as good a time as any. It was
Yeah,
on, it was
because
free on
it was-
PlayStation like
It was your PS Plus game
3 or 4 months ago, 5 months
Oh,
ago.
man.
longer than that.
Was it?
Because I got it last fall. Like
didn't
last
think it
fall,
was that-
early this year.
It couldn't have been too long because I've only had PlayStation Plus since like November of last year. So
November of last year.
yeah,
So yeah.
that's what I'm saying. It's like less, like in the last 10 months.
Oh,
Yeah.
because you said 3 or 4 months, and I'm like,
Yeah, maybe it was not long ago. I don't know.
Yeah.
Either
3 or
way,
4
I
or
have
10.
it. So somewhere in the last
where is
year,
Dylan when we need our math,
Right?
man?
our math man.
Yeah, right.
Anyway.
Oh well. Anyway, sad news. But if you've never played Everybody's Gone to the Rapture, it
it.
should be less than $20 just about everywhere. If it's even that much.
They did
It's worth it.
Amnesia. Something of
Machine
pigs.
of Pigs,
That was
yeah.
fun too. It was kind of horror-y. It was good.
I don't know that.
I played that one. It's good.
Yeah. All right. Up next, we always do our questions from our listeners, and I'm not doing a Vinny voice.
No.
Hey, Vinny, what's up?
Yeah.
Yo,
Dylan
yo,
decided
yo.
that Vinny needed a odd New Jersey accent, even though Vinny's from Massachusetts.
Right.
So
Oh, all right.
It's strange.
it's weird. Anyway,
So Vinny starts things off this week, as he always does, and the question is, if you were to take one video game series and make another version of that game but a different genre, what would it be? For example, there are the first-person shooter Halo games, and now there are Halo Wars strategy games.
this is a good one, and I had one totally picked out in my head, and I forgot it.
I'd like to
So-
see a Final Fantasy platformer.
Oh, dang. I could play that.
Like, actually, more instead of even more than just a platform, but like a Final Fantasy Metroidvania.
That could be really good.
Yeah, where it's got the RPG elements, but it's still got the button mashy hack and slash stuff that I like.
I can really get behind that.
That would be a lot of fun.
I'm really disappointed that I can't remember the one I was in my head because it was good too.
I just made that one up.
It was real good. Real
Nicely
good.
done.
You have ideas?
Oh, actually, I've
She's got ideas.
No, I don't. That's the problem. Is that I read this question. I was like, oh my god, like it's. I don't have any idea. The things I think of are like really basic. It's things like the platformers are a really awesome idea. I hadn't thought of that. But a lot of mine are like turn them into MMOs.
Yeah.
So turn Borderlands into an MMO. That'd be awesome.
No, could you imagine Borderlands in like even like a not even necessarily like a full on MMO, but like Borderlands with like a Destiny style like games as a service kind of where Borderlands never ended, it just went on forever. It'd be real good.
That would actually be awesome.
Yeah.
There you go. There's my idea. My Cliff and Vicky idea. So
Borderlands, but games as a service.
Yeah, but and the style closer to the style of Borderlands 2 or even like the pre-sequel.
So
the pre-sequel's great.
Pre-sequel
I've not played that yet.
Awesome. Oh my God.
I'm waiting for Destiny 2
They're
to
always so cheap too.
Oh, I own 2
You
and
own all of them?
Yeah, I have all
own
of
2
them.
and
I
the
own the
pre-sequel.
whole series.
Yeah,
I'm just
same.
waiting for like Destiny to like
Wayne.
go down a little bit, and then me and my brother are going to play both multiplayer co-op. So
Nice.
Let's skip this for a minute. I'm going to see if the game comes back to me because I had a really good
there's
idea.
all
in my
kinds
head.
of other like genre flip flops that you could do.
Oh, there's a ton. I mean, I'm thinking of like even like World of Warcraft with Hearthstone. I mean,
Isn't that exactly what Hearthstone is?
That's what I mean.
Oh,
It's
okay.
World of
I'm like,
Warcraft with Hearthstone.
I'm like,
Yeah, no, that's totally what I mean.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
taking an MMORPG
Yeah.
and turning it into a deck builder.
Yep.
So
Yep. Yeah. No, I've got something very specifically in my head. I'm hoping that something else will dislodge it. We'll see how it goes.
I wonder what Ori would be like in a 3D platformer, like a Super Mario
yeah,
64
like a
kind of thing.
Banjo-Kazooie kind of.
I wonder what that could be like.
Yeah, Mario 64. That'd be real cool.
That would be really pretty.
Although Ori is
it would
such a
be
great
really,
game.
Oh, it's so.
Have you played it?
I love that. Was a birthday present for my little brother.
I had never played that game. I'd seen it and I was like, okay, whatever. This is interesting. I'd never played it. Didn't know what it was, and then it was so cheap on a Steam sale or a Humble Bundle or something. I was like, oh, I'll pick that up.
And it just rips your heart out in the first 5 minutes.
Oh, jeez,
Oh my
right?
god! It's
But-
so good though.
I camped out with that game for a solid probably month.
Same. Yeah, no, I did the
And
same thing.
I love that game, and there's a second one coming.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Next year.
Ori and
awesome.
the Wind of the Wisps.
Wind of the Wisps.
Wind of the Wisps.
Something like
That's
that.
gonna be so
Yeah.
good. I
Yeah,
can't
I'm
wait. That's
super excited
great.
about
It's
that.
gorgeous.
I still haven't beat the first one. I need to. So little time. So many
I
games.
Well, anyway, so have you figured it out yet?
No,
You can't remember.
We'll come back.
Oh, okay,
If
we'll
I
come
remember,
back.
we'll just jump right to there.
Yeah. All right, Josh. Up
written it
next,
down.
Josh asks, have you ever been so immersed in a game that you dream about that game? If so, what game and what happened? His was PUBG, and he dreamt that he got 3 chicken dinners.
Chicken dinner.
Winner, winner,
I like
chicken
how
dinner.
specific that is. I just
Yeah, right.
Right? God, I want to say I had a video game dream not too long ago.
I
Really effed up.
I don't dream very often, so I don't think I've ever had.
You
a video
don't
game
have
dream.
dreams, Cliff?
No, yeah, dreams at night, life dreams. This is actually the culmination of every dream I've ever had. I
Right.
just wanted a video game podcast. That's all I need.
Oh man! Now while you're thinking about yours for Vinny's question, I'm trying to remember what mine was. For
Yeah,
Josh's
right.
question.
Well, good news. Here's the thing: is that every time I play a video game, the thing is when I play video games, I play them really hard. It's
Yeah.
like the only thing I'm doing, and so when I do that, every time I close my eyes, I see the game. And so I have had,
All
weird
the video game
daydreams,
dreams?
weird daydreams, I guess, like constantly of every video game I've ever played, and then also like actual dreams of all of them as well.
Yeah.
And so I think like I just had one. I had one about Guns of Icarus where it was just me. It was just me falling off of the ship like a whole bunch. It was just like I'd fall off and then I'd like somehow get back and then I'd fall off again. I think this was after a day when I had spent a lot of time falling off the ship.
I
so.
do that all the time though. Like not sleep dream, but like where I'm playing
yeah.
something a ton. Like how I'm
And you
playing.
like close your eyes and you just see
and
it.
you'll just like be singing like, oh yeah, I could. I do it when I'm driving because I drive so
yeah.
much
No,
that
same.
just like where you realize like, oh my god, I've driven for the last 5 miles and I don't remember seeing a
Yep.
car.
Done that.
So yeah. I will say one thing: I never dream about playing video games, but I used to dream about work. It's terrible. When I used to work retail and I worked at a video game store. So
okay. So it's related.
This counts. This counts.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is I don't talk in my sleep very often, but when I would dream about work, I'd do it all day. Or I'd talk in my sleep too. So like my parents when I lived at home or my wife when we were first married, I'd be sitting there all night like, hey, Welcome to Software Etc. What can I help you find today? Okay, that'll be $45.99.
Wow.
And then I'd have to wake
No
up.
sales tax in Utah?
Yeah, there is. I don't know.
Okay.
It's
Wow.
like there was a time where I could have told you what the sales tax was on every single permutation of everything, but yeah, no, it was terrible because I'd especially if you worked a night shift, because I'd close and then go to bed and then have to open, and so it was I just worked a 97-hour shift because I dreamed about working the entire time. It was terrible.
Nice.
Terrible. That job messed with my psyche in ways
I can
that.
imagine.
We're glad you've moved on.
Me too.
Yeah, I think the only game that I've had a dream about recently, I want to say it was PUBG. And I
Yes.
know,
So that PUBG, it gets in
It's
people's
just-
brains. And
yeah, but it wasn't that I got a winner chicken dinner 3 times in a row, Josh. Show off in your dreams, literally.
he got number 5 the other day. He told me about
good for him. I still got number 2. Kevin was in it, and it was some weird. I think I went flying off of a cliff in a dune buggy,
Nice.
and I can't remember what it was, but it was something ridiculous.
That's funny.
That sounds awesome.
And I remember waking up going, "Oh, you made me lose." So, anyway, all right, Josh, thank you for that question. And up next, Chalupa Dios. Who is this?
It's Ed's Turbo from he changes his name every week. I love it.
It's crazy. So he says, so we know there's going to be a Nintendo Land. Yay! What types of rides would you put in a competing PlayStation Land and Xbox Land to make them better than Nintendo Land? I am saying don't open a PlayStation Land or an Xbox Land. Just get you a cot and a little sleeping place to curl up because Nintendo Land is just the best.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, you can't make something.
Nothing's
going
gonna
to
be better. You can't compete.
You can't.
Really?
No way. No. I mean, okay, if I was going to try and put something into Xbox Land, I would say there'd have to be so much Halo related stuff.
Yeah.
So much.
That's my problem, though, is Xbox Land would be nothing but Halo Land.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
yeah,
just,
I'm
why
sh-
not call it Halo Land?
There you go.
we
Hey,
could
I
do
would
a
be
real
down
cool-
for a Halo Land.
We could do a really cool Forza game.
There you
ride,
go.
They have one at Disneyland. It's called Cars.
Right? It's so good.
This is what I was thinking though. I was like, man, how would you even compete with Nintendo? They
Yeah.
got Mario Kart rides. You could do Mario Kart,
Right.
so much super fun kind of wacky stuff. It's you do Forza, and it's a less cool Mario Kart ride. So
Here's Cars Land without personality.
It's just test track.
yeah, there you go.
In PlayStation Land, there would have to be a whack-a-mole game, though, a la God of War.
Oh my gosh.
And you're bashing Minotaurs' heads with a big spiky sickle or something.
God, that'd be amazing.
That would be fantastic. And there would have to,
Some kind of Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, see,
Kingdom Hearts.
but that's just Disneyland mostly,
Yeah,
right?
I know. It would
Yeah.
be Disneyland with some anime.
Right.
I'm trying to think. So in PlayStation Land, there would have to be some kind of God of War thing.
Or Spyro. We could bring Spyro in. Or Ratchet and
I
Clank.
never played Spyro.
Oh my
They were
gosh.
so fun.
Oh yeah, Spyro is awesome.
Yeah.
And Ratchet and Clank is
Ratchet and
also
Clank,
awesome.
some Crash Bandicoot, some Uncharted stuff.
How would you make Uncharted into a ride?
Well, the same way they did the Indiana Jones ride at Disneyland.
This is the thing. It's just all right, take Disneyland,
So maybe
make it
the
video
reality
gaming
is it's mostly just Disneyland
Right.
with a couple of
with
other.
video game
So what
stuff.
happened was is Disneyland sold to Sony. Sony changed the marquee to PlayStation Land and made all the
just
rides.
rethemed all the rides,
Just
sort
rethemed all the
of.
rides.
They didn't
kinda,
really retheme them. They just kind of changed the name.
basically.
You really don't even have to do that much. I
No.
know. It would be so similar.
That's hilarious.
Well, yeah.
Oh,
I'm just saying.
So yeah, I think at first I was thinking you guys are wrong, but I've come around. You're right.
I mean, I think PlayStation Land has a definite competition to Nintendo
in
Land.
PlayStation Land, there
Xbox
could
Land,
be,
I don't think it'd be very good though.
In PlayStation Land, you could do some kind of Rocket League thing.
Well, you can do a Rocket League. Oh, you can do that in Nintendo Land now too.
Oh, and
It's coming
Xbox
to
Land.
Switch. And what?
And
Xbox
I played
Land
on
and
Xbox,
PC Land.
Yeah. And PC Land.
Every
all the lands.
lands get
But
the Rocket League game.
only Nintendo and Xbox and PC can play together.
I know.
Sony. Anyway,
I would. Can you imagine how fun Rocket League in real life? I mean, I know that can't be a thing.
Oh, yeah.
There's no way that physics kind of work against us,
Right.
but God, it'd be so fun.
Are you guys okay? This is kind of a tangent, but have you guys heard of Game Lab from Matt Pat?
Yes.
Did you see the Rocket League episode?
No.
He totally did
Oh.
play soccer with these junker cars, and it was just a
that'd be
lot of people
amazing.
crashing into each
That'd
other.
be amazing.
Yeah, I mean it's not as cool because you can't jump 40 feet in the air.
I want to play Rocket League in VR, so first person,
That would be so cool,
right?
oh, I just got sick thinking about
Yeah,
that.
It'd be awesome.
you might have to.
I feel like getting sick in VR is a thing that you have to just
Embrace.
Embrace, but also like you'll get used to it. You
It's
just have to
so
get used to
stomach
like.
churning though. Oh,
Can you get
man.
used to that? Can you get
Well,
over
you can,
VR
you
motion
can.
sickness?
But I mean,
There
but
you
I
go.
think at the same time, like first-person games tend to be better. Like spaceship games work really well in VR because you're in a fixed thing
Yeah.
moving through space. So
Right.
Rocket League might be okay, maybe.
Maybe because I played.
If you
what
played
was-
like from inside the car or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. That's what I'm
Oh.
saying. So like, is it like VR as if you were driving?
Yeah. Ooh, that
Right?
would be so freaking confusing. Suddenly there's a
Right?
ball in front of you. Like
Right?
it just
what
like
is this?
appears.
But I guess you'd have to think about things like how do you see the ball
Yeah, exactly.
over you? Like
It would be so
you'd have to
funny.
play in bubble cars. Bubble cars.
My gosh.
See, like I
This
think
is a
there's
great
something
idea.
here. If there's something here, yeah.
I would love to see
I think
them
it would
come
be
up with it. Them,
very,
the
very
people. They need to do it.
psionics.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you
need
for
to think
spurring the conversation, Chalupa
Very
Dios.
cute.
Yeah,
Like this just went off into a
totally
that was
different
awesome.
direction, but
Yeah, it's good.
Excuse me.
but moral of the story: Nintendo Land's going to beat out the
Yeah,
other land.
it's
Oh,
in
yes.
Florida, right?
I've been. Me.
That was very good.
Is it going to be in Florida?
I thought
Oh,
so.
come on, man.
Maybe it's in Japan. I don't know. It's in Universal. Yeah. So maybe they'll bring one to
It's in
California
Universal.
too.
That'd be awesome.
Maybe. I don't know. Could be.
It's not really going to be in Florida,
Yep,
is it?
Universal
Oh,
Orlando.
that hurts my soul.
Road trip to
You don't have a
Florida,
soul.
California.
I'm. No.
That's a real long road trip.
Road trip to Florida from.
That's
From
because
Seattle.
Yeah.
Like,
it was a 38-hour drive to Portland from New Orleans.
ooh.
Ooh.
So I can't
So
imagine.
this is like a 4-day
Like,
road
yeah,
trip.
a solid 4
We're
days.
gonna live stream the entire thing.
Okay. Did you ever think about the game Flip Flop Mashup thing?
No.
Well,
I'll post it on Facebook. I don't know. Whatever.
this is what happens when you get old, kids.
Right? I should have written it down. I really should have.
All right. Well, thank you for the questions. If you have questions for us, you can always send them to us on Facebook, Twitter, Discord. Where else?
Mail.
I actually bought a stamp last week. I had to send something to
Oh
the
my gosh.
IRS, and I was like, how much are stamps? Like 40 cents? She's like, no, sweetie,
No.
they're 50.
Like, we've actually had this discussion recently. He's like, yeah, what's a stamp? Like 32 cents? I'm like, well, yeah,
Like
15
99.
years ago.
Yeah.
See, now I just like grew up not knowing how much stamps cost. So
We hate you. Go away.
you invited me
That's
here.
true. We did.
Real quick, cheap free games, Lawbreakers, that little Overwatch competitor kind of thing.
It's not really Overwatch. I mean, it's kind of Overwatchy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a hero shooter, sort of. I don't know. It's Cliffy B's game. Give it a try.
Wait, who's Cliffy B?
Cliff Blazinski.
Oh, that
he
guy.
is
My bad.
He's he made Gears of War, little game.
I think I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's new. Lawbreakers is really fun. I played the beta. I'm terrible at it. Like, I can't tell you how terrible I am at it. But it's really fun, and they're really, really struggling to find an audience. It just didn't land. But it's getting for everyone who's played it says great things about it. So give it a try. And it's also on sale. I think it's
What system?
PC and PS4, I believe.
No Xbox, huh?
No. They...
Making me question my investment there, Cliffy.
Well, it was one of those things where they can't. I mean, it was actually. I kind of wonder if they're regretting that decision too, because they made the decision they were going to put it on one console, and they chose the PS4 because of the install base. When they probably should have chosen the Xbox because the Xbox has probably a bigger first-person competitive shooter base. So
True.
I don't know if they're regretting it or not, but that game has not done what it should. But it's also on sale, so if you like it, it's 25% off.
Sweet.
It's a 4v4, I want to say, and it's got this really cool gravity mechanic. It's really fun.
Yeah, a lot of verticality and a lot of
a
the
lot
maps.
of verticality. I'm just real bad at it. Real bad at it. So.
And I just saw this pop up on that article that we were talking about, the free to play this weekend. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
The Atari Box. Have we heard about this?
Yeah, it sounds real dumb.
Like it's going to be an actual thing.
Yeah.
Like it's they're Indiegogoing it or kickstarting it.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, it's going to be $300.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
now I was actually down for it, but not for $300.
It's going to run Linux.
Right? I just don't understand. Like, it sounds like
Yeah.
they're trying to make another Steam machine, which
Basically.
was horribly non-successful. So, I don't...
That boggles my mind why the Steam machine wasn't successful.
Right?
Because you think it would just make sense for a lot of people that want to play those games but don't want to invest in a computer.
I think the Steam machine was a combination of Valve not communicating with people very well, and as much as you want to say, I think the thing is, if you want a low-priced console, you just buy an Xbox or you buy a PlayStation.
Yeah.
It's really hard
How much
to...
was a Steam machine?
That's the problem, too, is
from
they
I
were
want to
never...
say like anywhere 400 to 600, something like that.
Well, they started
4 to
about 3, but
7.
the problem was there wasn't a Steam machine. There was... Alienware made Steam machines,
Yeah.
and Dell made Steam machines, and they ranged from like $300 to $1,000, and they all had different specs. And
Yeah.
like really, what Valve probably needed to do was get into the hardware business or partner with someone and saying, "Hey, we're making 3 Steam
Official
machines.
one.
One's
Yeah,
300,
yeah.
one's 500, one's 800. Go." But then they were running Linux, so they didn't have to have the overhead of putting Windows on them, and even though they tried to make like their SteamOS kind of a thing, it wasn't, stop trying to make SteamOS a thing. And I don't know. It's a great idea, and I would kill to have a small form factor PC that was relatively inexpensive in my living room. But
Yeah.
essentially that's an Xbox now. So it's just a bummer because my Steam library is 650 games. I would love to be able to play those in my living room.
it'd be great to play them somewhere other than in the corner.
'cause
of
I've
my
got
bedroom.
a huge TV. Well, and especially like,
Steam Link.
yeah, I've got one.
I've got one.
It's okay.
I've used it like twice.
It's okay. I think the thing is we went to PAX. We just got back from PAX, and we played a ton of awesome, like 4-player couch co-op games. And I want to play those games with people, but I'm like, okay, come into my little office.
Yep.
I don't know how I'm going to get 4 chairs in here.
Yeah.
So
No, yeah.
it's something that I want to happen. I just haven't.
Yeah.
You have a full-size PC in your house, or you have to custom build yourself a small form factor PC, and that's expensive and hard. So I don't know.
All right.
I was hoping that we'd get Xbox games with gold, but they have not been released. The ones
And have they announced? They haven't announced the PS Plus games either,
no,
have they?
they won't announce for probably another couple days. But Xbox, they
Oh
leaked.
yeah, because like on the PlayStation games are out on next Tuesday,
Oh really?
Like
I'm
they
kind of
should.
surprised. Yeah.
the first Tuesday of the month.
Yeah. Every month we've been seeing an Xbox games with gold leak, and it's literally some guy out there just making very realistic looking leaks, and it's happened probably the last 4 or 5 months in a row, and it happened again this month. But they haven't announced the real ones yet. So the fake one though says Shadow of Mordor would be one of them. We'll see.
This is UK.
Yeah, and they're different. What's on the UK one?
Well, hang on.
Hanging. This makes for great.
Hang on. I know.
The
I don't
content
care.
people come for.
It's late in the podcast.
I
Silence.
don't even. Yeah, I know, right? So it looks like in the UK, they are making it very difficult for me to find what they're. Oh, here we go. No, this was.
Adam brings nothing to the table.
This says it was
His
Infamous
beautiful voice.
Second Son,
beautiful
Child of
voice.
Light. Haven't. This was all this month's for us.
Oh, it could be. They may run them behind
Oh
or
no,
something
that's
too.
September. Yeah, weird.
Whatever.
Oh, whatever.
We don't know yet. We'll know by next week, but by next week they'll
next
be out.
week
So
We'll already know. So anyway, to wrap things up, we've actually got somebody in the troll corner this week, and that would be
Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed Origins specifically.
Yeah. So
And is it because of all the different? Is that what the trolling is?
Assassin's Creed Origins has 6 different versions coming out. Starting at the, let's see, 7 different versions, because there is just the traditional retail version for $59 or $60. There's also the deluxe version, the gold version, the steelbook version, the gods version, the dawn version, and the legendary version, topping out at $800.
Oh my God. Why?
And like,
Oh my God.
right?
Like they expect. I wonder how
Which
many.
version did you get? Did you get the $800
well,
version?
I mean, you know me. I go ham, baby, and I got me the legendary version.
You needed the giant statue and the lithographs and the.
Oh my gosh.
and I
like-
needed the 3 bonus ability points.
My favorite thing is the legendary edition. One of the things it comes with is another steelbook.
Yeah, I didn't get 2.
Why?
I don't know. Like I just don't get it. I mean, like, I guess the good news is you get at least the gold version. You get all the DLC, so you get the season pass.
And steelbook. What is steelbook exactly? Explain this to me.
I think isn't it when the case is like one of those fancy
Just
metal
big, fancy-
cases?
okay, that's
Yeah. It mostly just means that it probably won't fit in with the rest of your games on your shelf. It'll be that one weird one that you have that
But then
looks
you'll
different.
have 2.
But if you get the legendary, they can sit side by side, so at least they won't look lonely.
Yeah. You'll just have 2 identical
But I
games.
mean, literally, the options of this if you get the legendaries, you get the Secrets of the Pyramid mission, the Ambush at Sea mission, the bonus ability points, 3, the Desert Cobra pack, the season pass, the steelbook, the map, the soundtrack, the art book, the collectible box, the art cards, the Bay X figurine, which is 29 inches tall if you get the legendary edition.
They've got 3 different sizes.
If you get
for
the gods,
figurine.
it's only 10.5. If you get the Dawn, it's 14.5. But the legendary, almost 3 feet tall.
And then the Bay X Eagle amulet that comes with the what is it? The legendary? Oh, the legendary.
The Dawn and the legendary.
Yeah, but the legendary is, yes, premium.
Oh, you get a premium version of the
Oh,
amulet.
my goodness.
An option of another steelbook, lithographs, yes, 4 of them, and a certificate. Just I don't know what that is.
Hey, guess what? It's going to say, congratulations, you're the proud owner of $800 worth of crap.
Right?
That you don't need.
I just, who buys those things?
Oh my God.
I want to know what executive sat back and thought, guys, let's charge twice the amount of a console for our game.
Right?
Let's do that, because that makes sense.
And I don't know. Maybe those figurines actually do
I'm sure they're
appreciate and
beautiful.
value. And I'm sure they're gorgeous, but I mean, I'm looking at the 10.5-inch one right now. It's pretty nice.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they're actually different poses depending on which
Are
ones
they?
you get to.
Are they
yeah.
different poses, or are they just different angles?
No, because one of them he's kind of kneeling down on the rock,
Oh,
and the
yeah,
other two he's
yeah,
doing
you're
some
right.
sort of
Wah,
weird
wah.
flying. I've got a falcon and an arrow. I don't know, man. I just don't.
None of which says spend $800 on me.
Dang.
No. So that's
anyway,
ridiculous. So that's why it had to do with me, because I actually pre-ordered, but I think I pre-ordered the gold? Or is it gold? Is that what one of them?
There is a gold version, yes. Yes, there is a gold. So you got the season pass. If you're going to get one, gold's probably the way to go. $80?
I don't think I spent that much. I think I remember going, this is my first game pre-order for a console that I've never played nor owned.
Yeah.
And I said I might just play this a little close to my vest and not,
either way,
spend a whole lot of money.
I know this isn't an Assassin's Creed only thing. There are tons of ones that do this, but God, this is just hilarious.
$800.
Whatever.
That's insane.
I would
Oh yeah,
love
no,
to
I just
know.
got the basic. I just got the basic, which is fine.
That's probably good enough.
Yeah.
I would love to know how many of these sell.
Oh my gosh.
Definitely.
Is this 10? Is this 100? Is it 1,000? How many crazy people out there
For Assassin's Creed.
$800 on an Assassin's Creed thing?
I mean, they've only got 500 different games in their franchise,
right?
So I mean, they've got.
I want to find the person who's
somewhere.
bought the $800 version, because there was a really expensive version for most of these
Right.
that just has an entire room full of
all these figurines.
dumb statues.
Right? He never
And
leaves.
2 steelbooks of each game.
He has conversations with all the Bayek statues.
Yeah. Oh man,
That's what he does.
Either
So,
way.
Well, with that, we're at the end of our show.
Oh, it's all over.
Wah, wah, it's
Right?
done.
It's my favorite part of the week. Now it's over.
Oh,
No.
get out. So yeah, thanks for hanging out and listening to our little show. We'll be back again, obviously, next week with episode 46.
Ooh.
And I think we'll have to break down that Atari box a little bit next week.
Yeah.
I'm actually curious about it. I really am.
Me too.
I'm not going to buy the thing.
No.
Good
Not
God.
for that, no.
No.
Not a $300
No.
Linux thing.
what
games are gonna run on it?
Linux box?
That would be what
I wonder
would
if it's
sell
just-
me on it or not. I mean, not for $300.
I
don't
wonder
care what
if
games they
what
put
it
on
is they're going to have, because probably most emulators will run on Linux. I wonder if that's the idea, is it's your emulator box.
Oh.
Because I mean that's what a Raspberry Pi is. Raspberry
I have
Pi
an
is just
emulator
a
box right here.
Yeah, I mean, but that's what a Raspberry Pi is. Raspberry Pi just runs on a Linux distro. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway, Vicky, thank you for
thank you.
jumping in and taking over Dylan's spot.
Sure, it's my pleasure. Thanks so much for
I
having
think
me.
we like you better.
Oh my gosh, don't tell Dylan.
He's going to hear this.
She's shorter. That makes me feel better about things.
I know. Oh, that's why I've never really noticed the whole I can't see your mouth moving. Because Dylan's so 17 feet tall.
This whole podcast, me and Adam have been looking at each other over a computer, so we can only see each other's eyes.
Yeah.
So,
as opposed
look,
to
it's your
Dylan,
mouth.
who his head brushes the ceiling.
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah, he sits down and he's still looking down at us.
Yeah, and he did give us the okay. Dylan got married.
Dylan got married. That's why he's not here.
Anyway,
I never know who I could talk to about that because
Right?
I was like, I got the invite.
I've never had somebody's marriage been a secret.
I don't know if it was a secret or he just didn't tell anyone. I like I said, I
I
don't
know, right?
Yeah, I don't think it was that he was no one can know. I think it was just more Dylan's kind of private and just wasn't rolling around talking about it. So Whatever.
So, yeah, if you see him in the Discord, or if not, if you don't see him, just tag him and say, hey, congratulations.
Yeah. Good stuff.
They're on their honeymoon.
Yep. Disneyland. That's where I went on my honeymoon, too.
That's such a great honeymoon place.
I know, right?
Kevin needs to take
Good
notes,
choice.
man.
I'm going back for my 20th anniversary.
That's awesome.
I'll be there in a month.
Anyway.
A month from today, I'll be in Disneyland.
Check out how
Yay,
Nintendo
love.
Oh, Disneyland. Dang it. That's in California.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
way closer.
Disney World's terrible.
Disney World's way far away. It's like a great place, but it's like
I think it's
$1,000
terrible
to
because
fly
it's in
there.
the middle of a swamp.
Yeah.
Disney World's the one I could get to because I'm from Michigan.
Oh, see, yeah, and
So-
that's true. Yeah, because you can just take
Closer.
like the freeway right
Yep,
down. Yeah,
exactly.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like you'd be kind of central, but it's
I'm
way
like-
easier to get to Florida.
If you're driving.
Yeah,
Yeah, and we drove.
it's like a 19-hour drive. It's about the same.
That's what
19?
Midwestern families do, man.
The funny thing is the
to
drive from
Disney World.
Michigan to Disney World is the exact same length as the drive from me here to Disneyland.
19
there you
hours
go.
from Michigan to Disney World.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude.
yeah,
No way.
yeah. It's all
Yes.
freeway. It's the same freeway the entire way too.
Are you saying that you think it should be longer or shorter?
Because it's like a 14-hour drive from New Orleans to Tampa.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah, no,
That's
it's
what I heard.
yeah. It's
I had
just
friends
all
that did
one
it.
long freeway, and most of it is Ohio.
Yeah.
So-
Ohio goes on forever.
Thank you.
And the speed limit's like 60.
We're
It's
not
awful.
even talking
and
about
if you
games
speed,
right now.
they'll catch you
Yeah.
every
No
time.
video games right now. This is
One
not-
time I drove
Video games are
from Detroit to Cleveland, Ohio, in order to pick up my friend who'd been doing a Tomb Raider install at Kings Island. There's a Tomb Raider ride, or there
Oh,
was
yeah,
a Tomb
you told
Raider
me about
ride.
that. He did the
Yeah.
sound for it?
Yeah, he did the
Wait,
sound for
That's
it.
awesome.
Yeah, and so like there's how we mix Michigan and video games.
Ta-da!
All right.
Ba-dum-shing.
If you want to find us on the social medias, we're all over the place at Bite Me Podcast or bitemepodcast.com, BYTE me, podcast.com. Like us, rate us, review us.
Just come on and say hey.
Yeah, tell us we're terrible. I
Don't
care.
do that.
Hey, you can tell us
I have
we're
a
terrible.
very fragile ego.
We'll delete
Tell
your-
Adam
we'll-
he's terrible.
We'll delete your
Tell
review, it's
Adam he's
fine.
terrible, but always say you love Cliff. She's my favorite.
All right. At this point in the show, this is where Dylan whispers, bite me.
Bite me.
Good.
That was lovely.